Garfield's Ghost Stories. The Headless Pirate. "Yo ho ho!" roared Garfield as he swaggered across the room, brandishing a sword in Odie's direction. "Out of me way, you mangy sea dog, or I'll run you through with me cutlass. For I am Orangebeard, the most feared buccaneer to ever sail the 7 seas. "Garfield, put that thing down!" yelled John, rushing into the room. "That sword's a priceless family heirloom. It belonged to my great Uncle Seamus Arbuckle. Did I ever tell you about Uncle Seamus?" "Oh, no," moaned Garfield. "I sense another family anecdote coming on." "Yes, sir," continued John. "Famous Seamus, they called him. He was the captain of the HMS Pearl, the ship that finally captured the notorious pirate Blackbeard back in 1718. And what a ferocious fight it was. It took 25 pistol and sword wounds to finish off the fierce pirate. Afterward, they put Blackbeard's head on a pole, and Uncle Seamus received Blackbeard's sword as a reward for his bravery." "A hero in the Arbuckle family," marveled Garfield. "Will wonders never cease?" "Now," added John, "before I go out tonight, I'm going to put the sword back in its case for safekeeping, and when I return, that sword had better be there." Naturally, no sooner had John left than Garfield opened the case and grabbed the cutlass. "Now where were we, Odie?" asked Garfield mischievously. "Orangebeard craves action. Is there no man who braves a taste o' me cutlass? Where is that sissy Blackbeard?" Suddenly the lights went out. A rumble shook the house, and a cloud of smoke poured from the fireplace. "By thunder!" boomed a mighty voice. "Who dares speak ill the name of Blackbeard? Prepare to meet your maker!" As the smoke cleared and the lights blinked on, Garfield and Odie could see the horrifying specter of a decapitated pirate holding his severed head. "Be this the house of Arbuckle?" growled Blackbeard. "Speak up, lads, or I'll cut out your tongues and feed 'em to the fishes." "Don't lose your head," quipped Garfield. "Yes, this is the Arbuckle house. Do you like it? It's yours." "'Tis not a house I seek," snarled Blackbeard. "'Tis me prized cutlass, and vengeance." Garfield gulped, then quickly slipped the cutlass behind his back. "For the last 3 centuries I've been tracking down relatives o' the crew that laid me low. Mind ye, for that I bear them no harm. Taking a man's head is fair, but stealing his sword, aye, that's a different matter. And when I find the snake who holds me cutlass, vengeance will be mine." With a hideous grunt, Blackbeard hoisted his severed head high into the air. "An eye for an eye, and a head for a head," he roared. "Which brings me to Seamus Arbuckle." "You mean famous Seamus," said Garfield. "Aye, so you heard of him," said Blackbeard. "Famous for his bad food he was. Worst cook to ever disgrace a ship's galley." "You mean he wasn't a captain?" asked Garfield. "A captain now? Ha! The only time that coward set foot on a deck was to swab it. But he could have lifted me sword after all the fighting was done, and if he did, somebody in this house is going to pay." "So that explains it," thought Garfield. "A heroic Arbuckle. I should have known better." "Where's me blasted cutlass?" Blackbeard shouted furiously. He pounded the table with his fist, causing his severed head to drop on the floor and roll behind Garfield. "Aha!" shrieked Blackbeard, spying the sword. "It's me cutlass! Say your prayers, matey. You're not long for this world." "That's our cue, Odie," yelled Garfield. "Run for it!" But before they could move, the monstrous pirate snatched them up by their tails and dangled them over his gruesome head. "Hand it over!" commanded Blackbeard. "Hand what over?" asked Garfield. Blackbeard bared his teeth and started to growl. Okay, said Garfield. "Take it." Heaving Garfield and Odie aside, Blackbeard grabbed the sword and began polishing it with care. He then picked up his head for a better look. "Shiver me timbers," he bellowed. "This is not me cutlass. This is colonial toy-makers. What manner of mischief be this?" "Elementary, my dear Blackbeard," replied Garfield. "Obviously, Seamus was trying to impress people by pretending to have your sword. I guess he wanted to be famous for more than his cooking." "Then where the devil is me cutlass?" "Who knows?" said Garfield. "Maybe you should check all the army surplus stores. If you start now, you could finish by the year 3000, and while you're at it, you might consider picking up a bowling bag for your head." Ranting and raving, Blackbeard tucked his head under his arm and disappeared a puff of smoke. Moments later, John's car pulled into the driveway. "Quick, Odie," said Garfield. "Put the sword back and smudge over that inscription. What John doesn't know won't hurt him." When John came in, he headed straight for the cutlass. "Ah, it's still in its case," he said. "You boys haven't been playing with it, have you?" "Us?" said Garfield. "Not a ghost of a chance." The end.